which they had always did in the last thing before going away for the night. He went straight through the court, still hidden by the cloak of darkness in which Athena had enveloped him. Still he reached Arete and King Alcinous. Then he laid his hands upon the knees of the queen. At that moment the miraculous darkness fell away from him, and he became visible. Everyone was speechless with surprise at seeing a man there, but Odysseus began at once with his petition. Queen Arete, he exclaimed, daughter of great Zenor, in my distress I humbly pray you, as also your husband and these your guests, whom they have heaven prosper, with long life and happiness. May they leave their possessions to their children, and all the honors conferred upon them by the state, to help me home to my own country as soon as possible, where I have been long in trouble and away from my friends. Then he sat down on the earth among the ashes, and they all held their peace till presently the old hero, Echinius, who was an excellent speaker and elder among the Persians, plainly and honestly addressed them thus. Alcinous said he, it is not credible to you that a stranger should be seen sitting among the ashes of your hearth. Everyone is waiting to hear what you have to say. Tell him then to rise and take a seat on a stool and wait with silver, and bid your servants make some wine and water, that we may have a drink offering to Zeus, the Lord of Thunder, who takes all well-disposed suppliants under his protection, and let the housekeeper give him some supper, but whatever they may be in the house. When Alcinous heard this, he took Odysseus by the hand and raised him from the earth, and bade him take the seat of the Laodamases, who had been sitting beside him, and he was his favorite son. A maidservant then brought him water and beautiful bowl and ewer, and poured it into the silver basin for him to wash his hands, and she drew a clean table beside him. An upper servant brought him bread, and offered him many good things of what there was in the house. Odysseus ate and drank, and Alcinous said to one of the servants, Pontonosus, mix a cup of wine and hand it round, that we may make a drink offering to Zeus, the Lord of Thunder, who is the protector of all those suppliants. Pontonosus then mixed wine and water and handed it round after giving every man his drink offering. When they had made their offerings and had drunk each as much as he was minded, Alcinous said, Aldermen, the town councilors of the Persians, hear my words. You have your supper now, so now go home to bed. Tomorrow morning I shall invite a still larger number of aldermen, and will give a sacrificial banquet in honor of our guest. We can then discuss the question of his escort, and consider how we may at once send him back rejoicing to his own country, without trouble or inconvenience to himself, no matter how distant it may be. We must see that comes to no harm while on his homeward journey, but when he is once at home, he will have to take the luck he was born with, for better or worse, like other people. It is possible, however, that stranger is one of the mortals who has come down from heaven to visit us, but in the case of the gods apart from the usual practice, for hitherto they may have made themselves perfectly clear to us when we have been offering them hecatombs. They come and sit at our feet, just like one of us ourselves, and the solitary way their home happens to assemble upon someone or other. They affect no concealment, for we are as near of kin to the gods as the Cyclopses and the savage giants are. Then Odysseus said, pray, Alcinous, do not take any such notion into your head. I have nothing immortal about me, neither in body nor mind, and most resemble those among you who are in the most afflicted indeed. Were I to tell you all that heaven has seen fit to lay upon me, you would say that I was still worse off than they are. Nevertheless, let me suffer in spite of sorrow, for an empty stomach is a very important thing, and trust this up on a man's notice, no matter how dire his distress. I am in great trouble, yet insist that I shall eat and drink with me, lay aside all memory of my sorrows, and dwell only on the due replenishing of itself. As for yourselves, do as you propose, and at daybreak set about helping me to get home. I shall be content to die if I may first once more behold my property, my bondsmen, and all the greatness of my house. Thus did he speak. Everyone approved his saying, and agreed that he should have his escort, inasmuch as he had spoken reasonably. Then when they had made their drink offerings and had drunk each his met, as he was minded, they went home to bed, every man in his own abode, leaving Odysseus in the cloister with Arete and Alcinous, while the servants were taking the things away after supper. Arete was the first to speak, for she recognized the shirt, cloak, and good clothes that Odysseus was wearing, as for the work of herself and of her maids. So she said, stranger, before we go any further, there is no question I should like to ask you. Who and whence are you? Who gave you those clothes? Did you not say that you came here from beyond the sea? And Odysseus answered, it would be a long story, madame, were I to relate in a fall the tale of my misfortunes, to the hand of heaven has been laid heavy upon me. But as regards to your question, there is an island far away in the sea which is called Odyssey. Here dwells the cunning and powerful goddess Calypso, daughter of Atlas. She lives by herself, far from all neighbors, even her divine fortune, however, brought me here, her hearth all desolate and alone. For Zeus swept my ship with thunderbolts, and broke it up in mid-ocean. My brave comrades were drowned, and every man of them that I struck to heel, and carried hither and thither for the space of 9 days, till at last, during the darkness of the 10th night, the gods brought me to the Ocean island, where the great goddess Calypso lives. She took me in and treated me with the utmost kindness. Indeed, she wanted to make me an immortal, that I might never grow old, but she could not persuade me to let her do so. I stayed with Calypso 7 years straight on, and watered the good clothes that she gave me with the tears during the whole time. But at last, when the 8th year came around, she bade me depart of her own free will, either because Zeus had told her she must, or because she had changed her mind. She sent me from her island on a raft, which she provisioned with abundance of bread and wine. Moreover, she gave me good staff clothing, and sent me a wine, the wind that blew both warm, and there days of 7 and 10 did I sail over the sea, and the 18th I caught sight of the first outlines of the mountains upon your coast, and glad indeed was I to set eyes upon them. Nevertheless, there was still much more trouble and sore for me, for at the point Poseidon would let me go further, raise a great storm against me. The sea was so terribly high that I could no longer keep to my raft, which went to pieces under the fury of the gale. I had to swim forward till the winning current brought me to your shores. There I tried to land, but could not, for it was a bad place, and the waves dashed me against the rocks. So I again took the sea and swam on till I came to a river that seemed the most likely landing place, for there were no rocks, and it was sheltered from the wind here. Then I go out of the water and gathered my senses together again. That was coming on, so I left the river and went into a thicket, where I covered myself all over with leaves, and presently heaven sent me on into a very deep sleep. Sick and sorry as I was, I slept among the leaves all night and through the next day till afternoon, when I woke as the sun was westering, and saw your daughter's maidservants lying upon the beach, and your daughters among them looking like a goddess. I besought her aid, and she proved to be of an excellent disposition, much more so than could be expected from so young a person, for young people are apt to be thoughtless. She gave me plenty of bread and wine, and when she had me washed in the river, she also gave me the clothes in which you see me. Now therefore, though it has pained me to do so, I have told you the whole truth. Then Alcinous said, stranger, it was very wrong of my daughter not to bring you on at once to my house with the maids, seeing as she was the first person whose aid you asked. Pray do not scold her, replied Odysseus, she is not to blame. She did tell me to follow along with the maids, but I was ashamed and afraid, for I thought you might perhaps be displeased if you saw me. Every human being is sometimes a little suspicious and irritable. Stranger, replied Alcinous, I am not the kind of man to get angry about nothing. It is always better to be reasonable than my fathers Zeus, Athena, and Apollo. Now that I see what kind of person you are, and how much you think as I do, I wish you would stay here, marry my daughter, and become my my son-in-law, if you will say, I will give you a house and an estate, but no one, heaven forbid, shall keep you here against your own wish, and that you may be sure of this, I will take tomorrow tonight of your escort. You can slip during the whole voyage, if you like, and the men shall sail you over smooth waters, either to your own home, or wherever you please, even though it be a long way further off than Euboea, which those of my people who saw it when they took yellow-haired Rhadamanthus to see Titius, the son of Gaia, tell me the furthest of all my place, and yet they did the whole voyage in a single day without distressing themselves, and came back again afterwards. You will thus see how much my ships excel at others, and what magnificent oarsmen my sailors are. Then was Odysseus glad and prayed out loud, saying, Father Zeus, grant me that Alcinous may do as he has said, for he will win an imperishable name among mankind. At the same time I shall return to my country. Thus did they converse, and Arete told her maids to set a bed in the room that was in the gatehouse, and they took with good red rugs, and to spread correlets on the top of them with woven cloaks for Odysseus to wear. The maids thereon went out with torches in their hand, and when they had made the bed, came up to Odysseus and said, Rise, sir stranger, and come with us, for your bed is ready. And glad indeed was he to go to his rest. So Odysseus slept in the bed place in a room over the echoing gateway, but Alcinous lay in the inner parts of the house with the queen his wife by his side.